All right, here we are. We are streaming. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Let me check, make sure everything's working good. We'll be officially starting in 5 minutes. So if you're watching this video later, you can skip 5 minutes ahead or so. Let me check my stuff, make sure everything's working, give it a minute for everyone to get in here. Listen to some music in the meantime. Some indie rock while we wait.
We have evolved into this night, like a dream into a dry. Like
Well, we'll be starting in 5 minutes.
We will break, we will wake, we will rise. It's never enough, it's never alright. It's never the frame, just
Been a while. Make sure everything's working right.
To get on with another day, every little moment arise like infatuation in your lover's
Excellent condition. Okay. I'm waiting for this stream to pop up on my channel so I can listen back and make sure we're all good. Well, it says I've been streaming for 2 minutes, but my channel is not showing anything. Weird. I'm just getting things sorted. So we're starting shortly. A few minutes. Why do I not see the live stream on my channel? Pretty strange. Not working, is it? Is it a privacy setting? Ah, public. It was changed to members only. Oh, there you go. See, it's my first time back. Apparently YouTube has added this feature that I could make this private. But it looks like we fixed that now. It's been a little while, so you know, little technical stuff has to go on here. There, it's working now. Let me check it back. That's where. All right. We are up and running. Now I can give it a few minutes for people to come in. I'll wait a couple minutes. What's up? What's up? Okay, now people can join. It's kind of like I just gotta wait all over again. To get some people in here before I start. Well, if you're watching this later, after the stream has already ended, you can skip another few minutes. When you see me start to move things around on the chart, then you'll know we've started, I guess. The coffee is fresh. All right, welcome, welcome. We're back. If you're here, you got to say hi in the chat. That's the rule. Not really. Good morning, good morning. I've got the permanent Discord link. Finally, one that doesn't expire. Yes. I know how to do that now. Which has been dead because basically I took the last couple of months and just did whatever I wanted. Owen, good morning. All right. Now we can get going. Owen's here. I haven't been trading, but here we are. It's the end of August. I'm getting trying to get back into it. Time for that run until Christmas. So I really want to try to do this more regularly. Trading by myself is boring. So let's do it. Where have I been? Florida, here and there. Went to Disney World. Didn't look at a chart for a while, except, of course, some swing trading. But really, I haven't been doing much. The cryptos were a long wait while it was in that range. I just sold some off finally. That's swing trading, right? Sometimes you're real busy and then sometimes not. But yeah, July, August are not typically the most volatile, obviously. That's why it's good to take some time off, come back fresh. That's what I did. So we'll get going in one more minute. Let's give it one more minute. I want to try to make this useful and a good thing here and start streaming again on a regular basis. All right. Good morning, good morning. So I guess the plan is to just try to make this helpful. I'm going to be doing my trading. I'm just getting back. I have not done like the regular session stuff. Again, July, August, took some time off. But give some, real-time analysis and help if you're still learning. Keeps me focused. It keeps things more interesting for me. Time goes by much faster. I don't take my eyes off the charts. It's just better. And again, like September, October, November. Or, that's the good stuff. So, I'm in it to win it. Coco, how are you? I did get your last email. Sorry if I didn't write back. So let's see what's going on today. It's Monday. Again, I'm just easing back into the day trading thing after taking a long break. So let's see what we have. It's a Monday. It's early. I noticed looking at the charts, it looks like after the U.S. news, which is typically 8:30 my time, New York, after that is pretty good and pretty trendy. Like I say, the market goes through these phases where sometimes you want to be on, London Open and catch the moves before New York and the news, and it spazzes out and goes to sleep. But it seems to be pretty good and tradable, right? Well into the New York session. It's been like that for a little while, I think. But I opened up the charts today and saw that seems to be the case. So maybe I'll do like a starting at 8:30. I'm trying to figure this out, getting back into it, what my schedule will be. We'll talk about that. We'll see. Let's see the news today, what we have. Checking news. Good morning. I put the Discord link there in the chat. That is now a permanent link, so it's not gonna expire. We'll pick it back up there when I'm not streaming. I can pop in there. All right, what do we have today for news? Monday, not much. Nah. August 16th. What was supposed to happen today? Wasn't today something? The return of me. It was something. Feels like an important day, but it's probably not. But it's all light impact news today. There's no big news today. For U.S. session, we do have that stuff at 8:30 a.m. New York time. But it's nothing listed as high impact. All listed as light impact stuff. Empire State Manufacturing Index for U.S. A couple of wholesale manufacturing sale things for Canada. All light impact stuff. Might get a bit of volatility, but nothing big. What else do we have today? The euro has a tentative time listing, so we don't have a time for that. But again, that's light impact stuff today. German Bubba monthly report. Gonna drive the markets wild. Not really. There's some news for the pound around the U.S. Open. All right, so it's a light day today news-wise. See the rest of the week. So tomorrow it kicks in. The high impact news for U.S. 8:30 Eastern time. Retail sales. So that's big tomorrow. Then in the afternoon my time, we have a Fed chair speech. So we're definitely U.S. dollar focused tomorrow. Generally in the markets, there's no high impact news for anything else tomorrow. All right, I'm just turning off my notifications for the Discord so I don't get distracted. But go join, and I'll be hanging out there. What else? Again, I'm just looking at news for the week. We do have an interest rate decision statement rate for New Zealand. Does that start a whole chain reaction where everybody's doing that this week? No. Yeah, no. Let's see. Wednesday is really Canada focused, and pound CPI. Wednesday. Okay, we're not all doing interest rate decisions right now. Okay, it's just New Zealand. Okay, good. Because those suck, right? Okay. So it's really about the U.S. Retail sales tomorrow as far as high impact news. That's coming up. Nothing today. Do the charts. Chatting to global people about the war pullout. Oh, Afghanistan, yeah. So busy, and typing with sore fingers. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know, like, you probably do. Judging from things you've told. I don't know the real story there, like what actually has gone. I'm not going to look at the media and assume that they're telling me anything true, you know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, even the cover story that, you know, they had something to do with 9/11, but now we're like, how you doing? You know, let's be friends. I don't know. Whatever. They probably had nothing to do with it. Okay, so back to the charts in the Forex. You could probably fill me in, Coco. So, where are we with stuff? First of all, yes. Anybody in this? Cheers. Sip of coffee. I'm in it. Because I'm in freaking everything, because you never know. To varying degrees. So this was nice. It wasn't any large part of my portfolio. Not at all. But it was nice. Nice gain there. I sold some off, and I'm still holding what I have just until, you know, we get some confirmation of weakness or pullback. Otherwise, I'm just holding what I have at the moment on this. You guys can see it, right? Yeah. Okay. But we'll get to that. Let's look at the Forex. What do I want to be looking at? Yeah, let's go here. FXCM. So where are we with things? Like I said, July, August, I didn't do much trading at all. No day trading. And I'm just easing back into it now. September, October, November, going for the run. In it to win it. All right. Let's do this. I'm just seeing where we are with stuff. So the yen pairs, looks like we have strong yen, pushing everything down versus the yen in today's session so far, Monday. Strength on the yen, just state the obvious. Anything versus the yen is dropping, isn't it? So that's the focus so far, as their markets have already opened. Taking the yen out of the picture, just to kind of summarize, what are we looking at today? Taking the yen out, looking at the dollar pairs. Let me organize that. We don't see much U.S. dollar driven action going on here, right? So the yen, everything versus the yen is coming down. The yen has been very strong so far today. And we don't see a real correlation, let's say here, right, between these as far as this recent activity at all. So these are kind of driving themselves. You know, you could say the Australian dollar is much weaker than the pound because we can compare to the U.S. dollar, which is not very active, and see that difference, right, that drop. So it's not really U.S. dollar driven. We have a sort of a flat pound so far. Of course, we're just opening the session for that. But we do have a weak Australian dollar, which the AJ, right, that's the matchup where you have the weakest and the strongest so far today, right? There you go. And of course, those two markets are open, you know, earlier than everything else. So we're getting some action there. We'll see, you know, if the U.S. dollar starts, you know, kicking in and driving the U.S. dollar pairs. But for now, it's that sort of flat pound. We'll see as the market's opening now. Weak Australian dollar. kind of a flat euro. This is real bare bones list, isn't it? Where's my others? Yeah, we don't need anything else, do we? Right there. CAD yen. Nah. So let's take a closer look at this action here. Well, first, before we take a closer look, let's zoom out and see what's back there as far as support and what we're looking at. Yeah, typically, like I always say at this point, use MT4, but when I'm streaming, it doesn't act right. So we do have a potential fake break, but we see what went on there at that key support. I'm really not worried about the rest back there. Yeah, the support down here. My fan is going on my computer, so hopefully everything's cool. I don't know why that usually doesn't happen. But let me know if there's any issue with the stream. I gotta get one of them new M1 chip Max, right? Where's that? So, just because I may be going short on these, I do want to be aware of what support is coming up. Wouldn't you want to be aware, right? You want to know. You maybe you already marked it, right? You get the idea. Okay. So this is key. Let's take a look just right now. Again, the story so far, since it's early, we're just getting into London. We haven't seen any U.S. dollar movements. Too early. And look at the very strong yen pushing everything down. So this is a key spot here at support where, and it's a bit of a fake break there so far, where we can get some information about buy activity. We hone in on that. And we do see initially the highest volume of the session so far. Now that is the London Open volume, which is always going to be high that time of day. But considering where it took place in the reaction, we are seeing some buying coming in there initially. Obviously, this is not to the point where I would want to jump in a long position, but we're starting to get a read on that. And if we're looking to go short, unless I'm convinced otherwise, looking to go short, we want to know how much buying is taking place and how good it's looking. So there is a bit of activity, but again, that's the London Open volume. That's always going to be high. So it's kind of annoying when that happens at a key spot, which is exactly, like right there. And that's the London Open volume spike. There is a little dip here looking at the 1 minute chart. Back into that did get bought up a bit later. But we're still looking at like 6-7 minutes in, so I wouldn't worry too much about that strength. Again, volume's always high at that time of day. It's probably not done moving down. But our next thing, once we've already seen that there is some buy activity, at least we have to acknowledge, is our testing for sellers right in this area. We could get a spike in volume and a rejection here, which could send it right back down. Not a bad scalp in this situation where, what are the scalp trades for? They're more for situations where you see a trending move and you expect it to continue and not really give a retracement. Now, if we get like a double bottom and we really start to get convinced of strength here at this key level, then we could be going higher, and then I would not want to short until we see some weakness higher up, right? Fib retracements and stuff. But it's early. Let's see some information off of the test for supply, which is a nice spot. These are just my usual 14 and 50 exponential moving average. This is the 200, which is more of a swing trading thing. But in case you're wondering, these are the same old moving averages I've been using forever, right? Forever. They're just colorful. But the 14 EMA, of course, is our first test for supply. See how we tend to ride it down. And in this area 50 EMA also. So we'll see the reaction there. Let's see some of the others. Yeah, so we'll get an idea of, is the selling really that aggressive still? We know it was to the left, but is it still going to be aggressive? And this is our first piece of information there. And looking at the volume, right? Again, this is London open spike. It's going to be high that time of day no matter what. But if you notice just before, we're in a pretty low price area, forming that support. Nothing huge, right? And the candle closed at the low here without a rejection. So I don't think there really was much buying into that. If you look at everything besides that typical high volume time of day, we don't really have any spikes. So we may not be done moving down, may not be done. And I could see taking a short scalp if we get a nice rejection here, right? Taking some profit off in our pin area, like I do on the scalps. Stop at break even so we can let it run. That is a possibility. I do like this reaction. There we go. That's the highest volume besides the open, which is, again, always going to be high. Just think of it as artificially high because of that time of day. But that is the highest since that, showing this rejection here. And if this next candle closes down, right, closes red, we're very likely going right to support. Not a ton of pips for a scalp, but some pairs may be better than others. You got to consider your spread. Also in these scalp situations, it's nice to see multiple pairs really confirming this stuff. Again, high volume there, so likely if we get another down candle reaction that we're coming down to support, right? That little 3-candle pattern, what's it called? Morning star, evening star, whatever the heck. Here it is here at the turning point, or you get the longer candle, the small one, and then the red one, right? You get that, small one, and maybe a red one, or a rejection candle there, and then our close down. Could be my first little day trade scalp, getting back into it after a long break kind of thing. What's up, guys? Welcome. If you're here, say hi in the chat. I don't expect a million people. I know I've disappeared for a little while. Not exactly Mr. Marketer. I don't do marketing. How you doing? The same old people probably. What's up? It's the old crew in here. Yeah, I may put a little something on this scalp. I'm not calling trades, though. I'm not. I'm just not. Get that straight right now. You're responsible for your own. But as I always say, no one really pressures me for that. Really, people want to learn and do it themselves, right? Figure out your own way. Maybe it's a combination of what I do and something else, right? But the idea here is to give some real-time live analysis. And in that, of course, it'll maybe help guide your decisions and teach you things if you're new to trading, which I started back in basically 2003. I didn't get serious till around 2006. So I got the experience thing, that's all. Experience goes a long way. I'm thinking about the scalp entry here. I don't know. What I don't like is that the pound is still moving up. I mean, we may have a strong pound situation. Yeah, we do. So I wouldn't want to be shorting that. And it's just London open, so let it figure itself out, right? But we know we have this matchup here of a very weak Australian dollar and a very strong yen. So that seems most likely to revisit that low, right? As a quick scalp down, if you stop break even, let it run. Take some profit off, let it run. Or don't if it looks like it's not going to run. I'm sure a lot of people here, some of you are familiar with my scalp method, which is nothing too complicated. It's got to be the right conditions. And normally I would be hesitant to short into strength, but again, I keep saying it, but it's so important. that 3 o'clock, my time, 3 o'clock candle, it's always going to be high volume. So unfortunately, we're at a point that's kind of important to tell us about buy activity. So it's hard to trust, though. And under normal circumstances, that would make me say, okay, maybe I don't want to be selling into that unless I get convinced some other stuff happens. But this matchup, yeah, I might put a small position on it here as we're seeing that third candle pull away, right? Getting the that pattern there. I may start small, my first trade of the season. So that's a possibility. Again, I'm not calling trades. Get that straight. If I was getting in this trade, I would put my stop above here very simply, right? If we make a new higher high, again, this is a scalp. So looking at, well, there's the close. Looking at the pip count, something reasonable. We're not going to be taking, 20 pip losses and 5 pip profits. So let's see if it's moving up what it wants to do, or if it can get slammed down again from that area, and that would help confirm it again even. But it's more likely to move down at this point. Again, it's early, it's Monday, it's market open, but these are a nice match so far today with very weak $1 billion strong yen. 23, 33, plus your spread, that would be 10 pips plus spread there, and that really gets you out of the way, right? But, when it comes to scalping, your stop loss pip-wise is connected to, your profit where you close the trade, so you have some sort of decent ratio. And what are the others looking like there? All right. Take a look at the euro dollar. The yen pairs were all very similar, but let's see what we have here. Where are we? What's up in the chat, guys? Good morning. Country gets nervous when I'm on live streams. They think of me as I should probably do that anyway, just generally. What do you mean? It's always a good time to talk about politics. Anywhere, anytime. What? I never heard. And then we're going to do religion after that. We'll have a grand old time. I speak in code. 25% have no idea what I'm talking about, and then 75% are like, I know what he means. Morning all, afternoon, yes. Australia, what's up, Craig? Where are we with the euro dollar? I'm not going to worry too much about analysis off our background. I mean, we may want to be aware of a fib level here. I don't think we're quite there, but let's mark it. Yeah, I want to go with this one. Yeah, I think so. Let's compare. Oh, well, that one gives us 50 fib. Key level. That one almost does. I mean, that's the absolute high, obviously, of the swing, but this is the beginning of the downtrend, right, that you're measuring the tracement of. Let's see, because right here gives us the touch of 50 fib, and you 99% of the time are going to get a volume spike in here, right? Well, let's see if it's doing that. And then we kind of know that we want our fib there. Makes sense? Do we have a volume spike right into that area? Well, it's off hours. When it hits, that's the thing. It's kind of late in the day. We'll leave it there for now. Either way, there's obviously the resistance there, so let's just do that. You know what? I'll do that, and then I'll go with the bigger fib. All right, that makes sense. And now we have a resistance set. We can work off of that, and then aliens. Yes. Is it the same thing though? That winged thing they're talking about. Oh, sorry. I'll stop. It's a trick to say don't talk about it because then you're going to make me talk. Yes. So we got our key levels marked there to the upside. So if we test into this area, we could get double top fake break weakness stuff and maybe have a reversal, but we're might be due for another leg up into that after a retracement. And let's mark that up. And then we get that 618 level. Lining up with the previous resistance, turn support. That's kind of low, but we could get there. It could happen. I was going to mark this anyway because we have a swing, resistance, turn support. It's also the very important and very possibly attracting a lot of demand level 618. So if we get that low today, but we generally have this area to tell us about buyers, and this is kind of the projection right now, just going off of the template of the market and what it likes to do. I'm sure you're all seeing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we get a ton of weakness here and we're not seeing strength come in, then we could go right back down, right? So we'll see how things want to move along. But that is not a bad projection for the moment to work off of as the template and see how it's behaving. Again, the weakness that we really would be seeing here was so late in the day, it's hard to really get much volume in that. It was a bit excessive volume on the way up, but it continued as a result. So nothing here is really convincing that it's bearish, right? Not. If this was the high, perhaps. But we accepted those higher prices. We ended the day. That's obviously, as I say, one of the most bullish ways to end the session is just to end off near the high price and just float on into Asia session. Kind of obvious, but when you get a strong rejection on high volume and you end the day lower, then you have an area that really could be bringing in supply and it's less bullish, right? Than obviously something like that. So sticking with that, we could get the down move in that. Strength into fib area. We'll see what goes on there. If we really start trending down, I could get a scalp to the downside. But in the bigger picture analysis for the, larger size trades, the day trades, I'd like to be buying in this area, Maybe we build up a support and we see accumulation here and we just can't get down there and I would buy higher, right? But looking to buy the dip, obviously, on here, unless something changes. As far as a traditional day trade, there's a lot of volume behind this move, which didn't show up as typical strength, but just think of it as all that activity resulted in higher prices, and ending the downtrend on high volume. So we know that that's where things changed around and we're bullish. Right. What's up, guys? Anthony, welcome. So, like I said, I took some time off, July, August. Obviously, the best time to do it, trading wise. And now I'm just easing back in. It's a Monday. My first day trading session in a while. And I would like to start doing this to keep me focused, keep me more disciplined, and as far as doing live streams regularly. So it's Monday, it's early. We're just letting the charts tell us what's going on. No rush. We're going to see what's going on with the US dollar. So far, it's not doing much, which isn't surprising until we get into US session. But we do have a very weak Australian dollar and strong yen. Very strong yen is the story of the day. Coming off of last week also being strong there. So again, with these, besides talking about scalp entries, the more traditional stuff is very simply on these yen pairs, right? There's no reason to be buying. No reason to be buying. And if we get a bounce, I'm looking to short on weakness. We'll mark up our levels. Once we get a support and a bit of a bounce going, then I'll mark up the levels that I'll be looking to short. But it's basically the fib stuff, resistance, support to resistance, the moving average tests, and seeing weakness come in and get with this trend. Perhaps. So that's the story today with the yens. US dollar is a wait and see. It's still early. Pound is starting off with its up move, starting off its session. And we'll see where that leads. Does it want to trend up? Have things changed? Are we doing something? And looking very bullish? Or what's going to happen here? Yeah, see, that's just that August stuff. A lot of charts had that, these kind of choppy days. It looks like things are kind of into getting smoother again. Really, historically, from what I kind of remember, it's the second week in September. It's really when things kick off. Sometimes it could be a little slow until then, and sometimes it can start earlier, obviously. But it's always that second week. It feels like in September. What is it? Labor Day, right after Labor Day. Holiday, U.S. holiday. So I'm not in a rush to make millions today. Just getting myself back into it. And seeing what to do with the live streams as far as scheduling. And, maybe I'll start 8:30 New York time. Cool, Anthony. Glad you guys are here. Gold, sure. Do I have it already on this list? Somewhere. There it is. Futures. I am not holding any gold at the moment. Let's see where we are, though. Daily chart. Yeah, we've been ranging for a while, typical of the time of year. And we just popped out of it the last week or so. Summertime range. And then here we go. This is key to see what's going to happen in this area. It might do one more leg up. Another pullback and a leg up. Let's see what happened up there. Ooh, some selling into that move. That's a small candle with a lot of volume, right? So, yeah, there were buyers, but the sellers took that. and maybe started building up to some extent. So I would say there's a bit of supply in this area. This happens to be the 200 EMA. I don't really use that for this on a 1 hour chart, but it looks like a fib area too. So wherever we want to draw that from, we'll just go with that. It's exactly 50 fib. Okay. So that's no coincidence there. So that's important to tell us about sellers. We saw some. So I would say today, if we pop up into here higher, it will really tell you about sellers. If you get another spike in weakness into this area, it may be continuing down. So that's a possibility there, because I wouldn't want to chase anything this high up anyway, as far as a day trade. You know, start chasing a breakout into a fib area. I wouldn't do that. So really the only option I would do on this is maybe see weakness here to short it, or the other option, you have really a confluence right there. Right. Oh, I'm doing this line. Okay. So that we have that swing point, resistance, turn support, right? That. It's exactly 50 fib. Now, as soon as I have 2 fibs on the chart, even though I only use 2 levels, I don't like it. I go crazy. I'm going to get rid of this one. So that's a possibility there. I'd be looking for strength in this area for that move. This is as far as a regular, day trade perspective. Looking for strength in here to buy, or the other option, if we pop up into here and we see weakness, right? So, because there's no reason to be selling. So if this does happen, it's looking for the buy to continue the trend. I mean, there's a bit of reason, but typically if selling is really strong here, you're not going to be able to hang out right there for so many hours and hours and hours. So it's not something that would want to make me go counter trend. This is probably the best thing, looking to buy here. But again, looking for weakness into this area and looking to short it, even if it's just a retracement, 50% of the up move off of that. So those are basically the 2 options there, the way I see it. Oh, people are joining the Discord. Been slow because I haven't been around in the time of year, but let's get back into it. Silver's getting kind of low. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing about price. It goes up and down and up, both directions. So if silver wants to keep coming down, that could be a real good buy situation. It would be nice to test these levels here, and see the reaction. See how much buying may take place there. Fib area. I should save all this so I don't have to redraw it, right? I could just hit that. So there's a confluence there. I'm just looking around. Something to keep in mind. I'll mark it and save it. But if we get there, I'll consider it. Just draw what we'd like to happen. That. Okay. Even, obviously, back into the range would be just fine. We'll see what goes on there. It's kind of a nice low. This is a daily chart. So it could take, a week or 2 even to get there. But I just want to have that marked and saved. As a swing type of situation, it would be looking to buy low. I mean, if we get a 618 overshoot, if we can get this low and bounce off of strength off of that, right? Yeah, of course. I'd be putting in some positions on that. So just to point that out on silver futures. What else? I do want to save these. The two options, right? That or that. Depending where it goes first and what happens when it gets there. All right. But yeah, what I like about getting out of August into September, October, November is things are going to move. Guaranteed. Pretty much. Where's the euro dollar now? 117. It's going to be at really far away from that by December. Probably. So, to kind of summarize where I am at the moment, the yen pairs, especially AJ, but really generally it doesn't matter, are all very bearish because we have some very strong yen. So, looking to sell a retracement, right? Similar to these kind of things. We get an up move, a retracement as far as a day trade, regular trade, the main method. Again, if we have a support really and we're convinced it's starting to pull up and we're looking for levels, then I'll mark it up. Because if we go lower, I have to redraw it anyway. So we'll just see. So that's one of the main, most obvious things, looking to sell these yen pairs, up move weakness in the right areas. Starts to move up. Look. Euro dollar, it might want to do this thing. Pound. What do we say about the pound? Kind of a crappy background. Man, my fan is loud on my computer. That can't be good, right? This hasn't happened before, but turn my air conditioning on. Maybe it'll like that. Euro dollar, again, it's like, this is the template. Doesn't mean it has to do this. But if it deviates from that, it tells you something, right? So if we continue up without this down move, we're very bullish, simply put. If we come down here and we don't get a bounce, we come back down, we're very bearish, right? So it's the template. What's the psychology here, right? You get the first move, nobody recognizes an uptrend. You get the second move, that's maybe some people that knew what they were doing got in that. And you got the third move, which is, oh, we don't want to miss this. It's definitely bullish, and that's where it ends. It takes all their money. That's where we sell. They're buying, we sell to them. But that's just the template. We'll see where it wants to go. There could be a short scalp along the way if it really looks like that's what's happening here. And again, you had the AJ situation. So, yeah, the euro dollar has that. The pound dollar, again, it's just kind of a messy, choppy summertime, July, August background. Some of this stuff in here. And we've lost our structure, any sort of downtrend structure at this point. At least here you could say it's a downtrend. But then we matched the previous high, and then we couldn't make another low, and we got a double bottom bullish pattern, and then we had this run up, right? But we aren't actually trending up as far as structure. This is only a 1 hour chart. Whereas our higher highs, higher lows, that's not there. So we really went into a range. And we're sort of, in the middle of the range, at least in a range, right? Looking to sell here off the high, fake breakouts, right? We're looking to buy off the low, particularly fake breakouts. But middle of ranges, I tend to avoid, right? They're very, the price can get stuck there. It's sort of your equilibrium area, right? Between the demand and the supply. But if we break out, we actually have a trending structure, right? Then we can go with that. What's up? Coffee still warm, at least? Yeah, it's pretty much room temperature already. All right, it's good to be back. I'm just easing into things. I want to be doing this more regularly. Live analysis. It's not trade calls, but, you know, if I do something, I'll share it, maybe. And let's see if we can get this going on a regular basis. I mean it. September, October, November. Got to go for the run. Too young for retirement. I get bored. I will be back in 2 minutes. Back in 2 minutes. I'll put a song on right now.
Right now, feels like the world spinning out of control. Oh, wait, it is hurling through vastness. This dark abyss, I call home. I just wanna feel something again. Anything will do to break my heart open tonight. Let me feel what it feels like to feel what it feels like to feel something again. I don't wanna be numb from the hate, numb from the pain, numb from the heart that just won't break. So break and break, break and break, break my heart open, please now. I just wanna feel something again. Anything will do to break my heart open tonight. Let me feel what it feels like to feel what it feels like to feel something
All
again.
right. Let's get it. September, October, November. And then we'll have December vacation again. That's my plan. Yah's servant. Good to have you back, Pete. Bless and bless you. And thanks for being here. I appreciate people being here. Just try to do this on a more regular basis. You're going to trade by yourself. It's boring. Can't do it. I get bored. I start watching something besides the charts. I get lazy. So this is my challenge to self. Get on it. I'm only 45. What's the matter with me? I got this stuff called runts, and then this other stuff called Lamborghini. Oh my God. Looks like Eurodollar may be doing its thing down to the fib area. Now, if we're not seeing much demand and we get a swing up and a test there, I could find an entry, scalp entry. But we're just now finally moving out of this, sleepy range. Let's see what's going on. It's Monday. Pound started off its session all happy about whatever. And that fizzled out. Oh, It could be turning. This is an important area to see here. Again, the background of the pound is kind of, I was just complaining about how bad it is. You know, it's just rangy and we're sort of in the middle. But if we reject this area, we're likely pushing for another leg up. And that could be something to consider there. I wouldn't go big risk on a pound position today. Maybe if we get, you know, like the yen pair pullback short or something, I would go with my normal risk because the background is really good and all that. Now this pound looks like it wants to do this. I might put a small position on this. Typically, I do like the uptrend structure already established. And this really hasn't quite done it, but we do have a higher high. So yeah. What's going on in there? Let's see the 1 minute and get really in there. Okay. What's the pip count to the zone? Not much at all. Might be a little early to take a crappy scalp. Never a good time for a crappy scalp. What am I talking about? That pound strength might be a thing, though, here. You see it versus the yen, which has been very strong, and it just moved up here. I need my other stuff here. What do I need? My euro pound chart just to see. Just my FXCM list. All right. It's helpful to see the euro pound, as I say. I don't trade it, but just to take the yen and the US dollar or whatever out of the picture and be able to compare the two, and seeing what's up with this really potential like pound up move today as it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. Here's the euro versus the pound, which it would be coming down if the pound is strong. So it's just really for comparison. If this was flat, that would tell us the euro is also strong and similarly strong, right? So it's a good comparison of these two without the dollar or yen factor, which we always have looking at it here. Well, if the yen pairs want to move up, we talked about, we'll see. If we start to move up, I'll mark up some areas and see where we might be looking to short, get with that trend. Well, there goes the pound, huh? Something about that pound's kind of happy today. I might put a little small something. Like small? Yeah. I put a very small position. It's not the highest quality, but I want to be in it with a small risk on this pound dollar log. It really is like a warm-up trade. It's very small. Probably put my stop at 47. Well, that's tiny. That's nice. All right. Pound may be proving its bullishness here. If we start trending up, we'll see about scalp entries. Maybe we'll see about pullbacks and strength. See how it behaves at some higher prices. Buying against the yen is another story, though. So I shouldn't even be clicking on pound yen when I'm talking about buying the pound, because the yen is so strong. So at least for now. So it would be pound something else. Again, here's the projection, sort of the template on the euro dollar now that it's made this structure. Could be an opportunity to sell it, but really looking to buy in this area would be ideal. A mighty pound. Think so. At least that's what the market suspects. So cool, people are joining the Discord. I'll be popping in there. So it should be in the link of the video. It will be, if you're watching this later. The link to the Discord. What else? That's it. Wait for things to develop. It's Monday. It's early. I'm easing back into trading. Do this on a regular basis. That's my plan. So if this little itty bitty first trade, perhaps size pound thing wants to move up, I could, as far as a scalp, it's very small to the high. I could just move my stop to break even if it reaches that point and just see if that's going to be the move today, and I'm in it. Not a big position though. If I went big, I might want to, if we pop up here, start to come down, take some profit off of the scalp, move the stop to break even, and then let it run again from there. But or even close more if it's a big position with the small stuff. But in this case, let's see. Maybe I'll catch the move of the day. Maybe I'll take a small loss. Whatever. Small loss or move of the day. All right. Perhaps. For these yen pairs, we want to see if they want to pull up and give a more traditional short entry on a retracement. That would be really the traditional regular stuff here. We got an up move and weakness. Even if it's just to the 14 EMA, that's a good distance away. But, in strong moves, you're going to test it typically over and over again. It's a good spot, as you can see the last 4 times. And you have your fib area, and that's all kind of going to be in there. And that's a possibility on the up move today. I wouldn't want to buy it unless I saw high volume strength, right? That hasn't happened. Staying bearish. Up moves, opportunity to sell or do nothing for today. mighty pound. I don't know why I call it that. Strong. There it goes. Just keep saying that. The mighty pound just popped up. I think I did that. My mind. Did I even clear my spread? Come on, I should have cleared my... There it goes. Nice lag there. There. Yeah, profit. Yeah, it's green. We're back. So, like I said, I'm going to move my stop to break even at this high and just let it be what it's going to be. Yeah, there it goes. Stop loss at my entry price. Very quickly, entry price was 3858. Blind. That's 0.5 pips. No, 7.5. What? 3. 58.5. Oh, okay. 138585. So now my stop is at break even on this pound. The long position. Again, I'm not trying to call trades, but you know, I got in that and I let you know about it. So be it. No risk on the trade now, whatever it wants to do. Like I said, it's a small position because it wasn't the highest quality trade. But and so in this situation where I have the smaller position, I'm not taking profit where I normally would on a scalp, right? Or at least partial profit, right? This situation, no matter what, who cares the pip count? You got to deal with what's going on here. If you get a fake break and it starts to come down, right? A scalp is going to tell you better be banking some. But in this situation, again, with this smaller position, I'm just going to see if I can ride out a move here. Make it really worth something. And again, if that's the move of the day, we'll see where it may end up going. But it's Monday, and the markets are trying to figure itself out. Something that happened immediately at the open was this pound move, so strong. And then of course this area, which if I draw a fib here, right, you get the fib, you get the moving averages, you get the rejection, the pins, and that sort of reaction there brings you to the top, high probability. So at least I could get that, right? Move my stop to break even, and we'll see. Maybe I catch another 20 pips up, or 40, who knows? Let it be, right? Like Paul McCartney. We're back, baby. We're back. See, I described that as a low quality trade, but I took it anyway. Why? Because when you look at charts long enough, you get gut indicator.mq4. I don't know. There's no guarantee. It's not ever a guarantee, but there's no guarantee that this thing's gonna run like I'm talking about and all that, right? Don't be like, well, Pete said it was gonna run and I held it and then it didn't. If you went large, if you took it, even if you took it, again, you maybe shouldn't have because I'm not calling trades and I said it was mediocre. But if you took it. On a large position, you might want to close half because that's all that was high probability. That's happened already, the high probability part, right? Going back to this high. It even went even higher just to be nice. But really this pin zone area, right? That's the high probability spot after this reaction. That's came and went. So it can do whatever, right? This isn't based on a background bullish environment or anything else. Right? Now it's just, it can go with the wind and I have no risk on the trade. It's not some high probability that we're going to get some big, right? Okay, just to explain that. You look at the background, like I said, with the pound. We had a downtrend. We lost the downtrend structure and we're going sideways. And we're not really in an area that, in a sideways range, I would want to get into a trade really necessarily. If it was a bullish environment, then we have a nice little pullback and a fake break pattern or something, but that's not really there. It's just sideways. Volume, Friday we had some high volume leading to higher prices. So our high volume in the background is on the bullish side, right? Lots of activity on the up move. That wasn't supply coming in, right? It ripped through the fib that you would draw here and get your fib zone from this high to low. Just ripped through that, and the prices got accepted and ended the day. Friday, as I say, to end the day just hanging out around the high pretty much is a very bullish indication. So yeah, that's the way Friday ended. Big difference between that and, like I say, a rejection to end the day and a move down, right? When you just hang out at the high or hang out at the low, it's very, very bearish. It's an obvious thing to say, but it's worth noticing, what happened the previous day as far as the ending, in this case, Friday. And then it's high volume leading to higher prices that really didn't get sold into. Like these long positions through here, they're still holding on to them, right? We didn't see them get out. We would see activity, right? Where's the activity? So, we're aligned with something back there. But especially those who know my methods, this isn't the high quality, typical thing that I'm always doing, but I can do whatever I want, right? So that's what I did. All right. The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate. Now, the stream quality is all good. Let me check in on that. What's up, guys? Sound like a YouTuber. Smash that like button and click the bell for notifications. And go to my merch and use this discount code and G Fuel. All right. My daughter's 9. We were having fun today, making fun of YouTube talk. Smash that like button. Give me your money. Go to my merch store. All right. Owen? Okay, very good. That's a different one with the pound, but that's what's cool about doing it live is, and again, this could turn out to be nothing. That's fine too. I explained my reason for everything here. But that's what's cool about doing it live. You see different situations and understand them. Do what you think is best. Make your own decision, but at least we could get an understanding of what's likely to happen on the environment. And every day is different, so that should be good, helpful. Check this. All right, so that's not even something to worry about. Whatever happens. Moving on. How's the yen downtrend? What's the deal with that? The most obvious clean situation. The market knows what's going on. Strong yen. Weak everything compared to the yen, but especially weak Australian dollar. What would normally be a large amount of strength, again, to note, is the London open volume. So that's exaggerated. As far as information that's come in since then, initially on the test here, right, we talked about that in the beginning, there was weakness, and it did stop the up move. Here we're trying again in that price area. There's not much activity, so it may go higher, right? If this wasn't kind of what was going on to the left, it's not a terrible scalp. More weakness here would have been nice to kind of guarantee. If you look at it as the pound we just looked at in reverse, in this case you have a better downtrend and getting to this area as a scalp target, right, and holding perhaps more. That would be the one thing to consider here. in this very bearish environment. Again, the pound maybe is on the stronger side. Don't want to short it. Euro is whatever, going with the wind. It's like another mediocre short scalp at this point, right? Mediocre. To kind of understand that is, okay, we are bearish, we are trending down, and off of these test areas, little fib retracement, right? Little baby fibs, and then and the moving averages, and you get to find out about sellers. Now, it's not very active, but we're in a strong downtrend. So the lack of activity and supply coming in, right? Sign of weakness, activity leading to lower, however you want to describe that, selling, didn't really come in where you're saying, okay, they're positioning short aggressively here. It's still low, and it's likely, really very likely to continue, right? But lack of activity in a bullish environment is likely to continue up. In this environment, it kind of gives you a 50-50, right? It might continue down because that's what we're doing until further notice. And it might not because we really haven't seen much sell activity. It could go higher to find sellers, whatever that is, somewhere. But like, let's say, for example, we pop up. New high ground tells you about sellers, right? New low ground over recent support, was the recent price areas. So now we have this sort of very familiar pattern we all know. Or if you know my material, you know. And for example, getting into new high ground there, which we really couldn't do here over that swing point. But if we get into new high ground, that's going to be very telling about sellers. And if, let's say, for example, you get squashed out on high volume, lower close as a result, then you're likely going again, right? This could kind of go either way. It could just keep going with the flow and going down, or it may have slightly more buy activity than sell activity, some profit taking and whatever, and that's going to bring it up until it can really hit that supply selling and show that activity on it, unlike here. So to explain that sort of situation, that's why it's not the greatest short right here. Am I out of this? Pound? That hit the stop, really? I'll go to my history. Yep, there it is. Profit loss 0. All right, that was fun. Warm up trade with the pound. But at this point, like I said, the move up here was the high probability. After that, I was just leaving it at stop at break even. So I'm out. It just barely hit my stop, I guess, right there. But if you notice, the pattern is now a fake breakout, double top fake break. And that's a situation where it just lost some probability in the short term here to even be able to move up. Especially if this one again closes down off of that fake break pattern. We could be doing another dip anyway. And we'll see where that closes. But yeah, no regrets on that. That's fine. It was a crappy trade. Again, the high probability thing came and went. I would have taken profit if I had a larger position, but let's see if I can hold on for that. Now it's going to go without me the rest of the day, right? Now it's going to... Okay. Isn't that how it works? You want your trade to move. The best thing is get out. So go without you. I'll go smash the like button. Shouty Americans. Is that an American thing? In Canada. It's a Western thing. Hit the button. Ah! Will you leave the session up so we can download later? Yeah. I'll leave the sessions up. They're automatically going to be on my YouTube channel. Yes. Unless I take 3 trades today and they're all losses, then I'm going to have to delete it. But yeah, and with all the live analysis and teaching stuff, it'll be cool. These videos will be there. And they're not going anywhere. And people that come across it later, how you doing in the future? Good material. Okay, bye. You can go now. Pound. See, now I want it to come down just to be like, yeah, good job getting out. It's all good. So what else are we looking at? This is likely going to the low, like I said. I explained it already. Could be better, huh? Problem really is on these scalp trades, you want this clean, trendy stuff. The more trendy, the better. And really, what's getting me to simplify it, a lot of you know the scalp method is, we've done this for the last hour and a half. Hour. That's an hour's worth. So that doesn't really match the environment we're supposed to be in for scalps, right? This is like the exact opposite. The flow, right? You move up, you get your 3 candle pattern, off you go. So yeah, this is really a 50-50 situation. I wouldn't do anything. Pound moved up a bit more against the yen because it's on the stronger side. We knew that. Okay, F off. What do we think about shorting the euro down to the fib area? We take some crypto day trades. So I finally started using my Kraken account, right? Remember me saying, one day I'll sell cryptos. Right now I'm just a buyer, but one day I will. Well, the day came. Was it like 2 months ago now? And I had the Kraken account all set up. Like I said, I just never used it because I was not shorting cryptos. But then we had this move going on. I'm putting some in. I'm actually going to hedge. So I had a separate account for my Coinbase where I hedged short. And on that account, I made about 35% or so on that down move. July, August, July, whatever it was, on cryptos. So I actually had the hedge going. And then I closed that out once we started stabilizing. And it just so happens that now, maybe this is a U.S. thing. I don't know what. You guys tell me what you're dealing with, maybe with Kraken, that I'm not able to short now. That's the point of why I got that account. Right, was to short, naked short, whatever you want to call it. Like you do in Forex. You just hit sell. You don't have to own it first, right? Okay. Yeah, that's no longer available to me for some reason. So, do I have to? It's a little weird, the setup with Kraken. Do I have to have Bitcoin in my wallet or something in order to short it? I don't. So I got to figure out what's going on. But at least I was able to do it during that down move. And grow that account off the down move on cryptos that happened to offset as a hedge. So, but now I can't, so I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. They changed their their deal. I'm not able to just short. That was the whole point why I got to Kraken as a broker. So I don't know. You guys tell me if you're in the U.S. or especially in the New York area. What's the deal with being able to short now? What broker are you using? What exchange? But yes, looking at this going on at the moment, I don't know. I'm not in a day trading cryptos kind of mood right now. I just hope you guys bought this. Even something, some of your account. You never know. You never freaking know. I didn't know. I just bought it. Maybe there was a good reason. I don't remember. A little something on everything. I'm telling you. Questions in the chat. Really like to hear your thoughts on Bitcoin. Are you bullish? Yeah, long-term bullish. At the very moment, I would, we just entered this fib area, and some of that I bought through this area, I sold off. And not just because of the fib, but also what did I sell? A little bit of everything, but okay. I did sell Ethereum, but I'm still holding a good amount of Ethereum too, and Bitcoin. Ethereum's been very solid, right, for a while. But it looks like now we're for real, moving out of the accumulation into markup, if you want to talk about it like phases, right? Accumulation into markup. Markup technically began once we got past this stuff. So markups fail sometimes too. It doesn't mean it has anything guaranteed. But coming back to test and continue, that's all classic Wyckoff stuff again. It just never stops, does it? After this, you say, okay, it's very important to see if this, right, break test continuation of automatic rally, right? That's that. But more or less, they're all obviously trending up out of that range they've been in. It's a real deal trend. We don't see huge spikes in selling. And actually, some of these retracements are really small. So going forward now from here, what I have, I'm going to hold for a larger move at this point. Like I took whatever I'm willing to take in this price area as far as sell off and let it do another leg up. It could very well do, talking about some options with things, this deal. And if I see that and a lot of buy activity to go along with it, I could consider buying. It's still above the automatic rally. It's still above the old range, so it's not like it's failing or anything unless it gets back down here. If it gets back down here, then it's really failing, right? But to stay above here, this level exactly right there, and that's what made me close some. Again, initially, here's your automatic rally. Again, a failure to mark up here, more accumulation. And then here, where it broke out, finally to go from this accumulation into markup, right? Look at the Wyckoff template. If you want to know what I'm talking about, Google Wyckoff template or market. What is it? Market phases. And going from accumulation to markup, finally, to me, gets confirmed when you're above here, above the automatic rally, and you stay there for the longer the better. And in this case, it was like a day or two that we actually stayed above that. And then to come back down and only to break it again on some of them. Ethereum didn't, but this one did. Let me just draw the damn automatic rally. This one did, and caused me to sell some off. And that's fine. I don't sell it all off because we did fail that. Oh, but it's not the Wyckoff template. What do we do? Well, it's only a template. But Ethereum did that totally clean, didn't it? Yeah, that did its totally clean break test continuation. It did not go back in. And if it did, right, sell some more off as far as the way I do it, because that suggests it's not going to be able to trend up if it can't stay above that level once it tries, right? So now we just be trending up, which means I'm holding what I have, and if we get any down moves, especially Ethereum, we got to say, but any traditional down moves that bring me to fib retracements, previous resistance and support stuff, and seeing strength coming along with it, then I'll be accumulating. So I'm in bullish mode. My hedge shorts are closed. I'm not shorting Bitcoin. I'm not shorting cryptos. I'm back to just buying the dips, selling the highs, and the basic analysis telling me where, when to do that. And again, it's swing trading. If it's another year of you ready for anything, it's all fine. If maybe we'll be in the 40s for another year, probably not. But you plan for anything, whatever. That was, why do you even, don't do that. But hey, if it is, you buy low and sell high, right? You still can make profit in the range, of course. But as far as like what's going to happen with Bitcoin in the future and all that, it doesn't matter. If it takes off and goes crazy, skyrockets, I'll be in it. Cool. All right. Signed up with FTX, but have not tried shorting yet. Okay. What's FTX? I haven't heard of them. Okay, I can check that out. Yeah, like whatever it was, just a few months after I get the Kraken account, they changed their policy and I can't short. And I could also trade futures, though. I mean, isn't that basically... Anyway, it's an ever-changing thing with brokers and exchanges and who's able to do what, where, in what country. These things change over time, so I got to figure out what to do now. At least we're in a bullish environment. I was able to hedge and sell and make like 35% or whatever on that account when this was happening. But hey, we already bounced 50% of that. And if you're able to buy through here, you're looking fine. All right, so where are we with things? All right, so we talked about the Bitcoin. I'm not day trading it at the moment. Maybe in the future. Just holding my longs for the moment. So what else? Back to the Forex. Wrong list. There we go. Okay. Ooh, okay. So this high volume here tells us, and judging by the reaction, which is just forming now, it's saying we don't have a great background, but it's leaning bullish, and we started the session today with an up move on the pound, looking strong. Now we have, and that wasn't news, was it? It's normally the time of day when there is news. But that's high volume, right? Higher prices tell us about sellers, and that's high volume there. We'll see the reaction now, right? So if this closes lower, then we're really just kind of messing around here, and we can't really trust this bullish situation, really. Yeah. So we certainly hit some selling. Again, with these guys, it's been a pretty slow open. If you look at these charts, pre-London Open was, we're trending. Here's London Open, and then this happens. And I've been noticing, again, market goes through these different phases, these moods. After the New York session news, 8:30 a.m. New York time, we have good trending moves. We have our news spike in volumes, volatility, and then it seems like maybe we figure things out from there going forward, and things stay active a little later in the day than they used to. It used to be 16 GMT. Just everything just there shuts down. You see it in the chart. Not so anymore. But because I haven't been trading, but I looked at the charts today before we started just to get an idea of what was going on, and I did notice that. So you get this choppy, sloppy stuff, right? Then here you get the news for New York, which today is light impact, but still it's kind of a marker where the market's been figuring itself out for the next few hours off of that, and that's where you get a trending move and some cleaner stuff. And really, we're seeing again. Asia session did some really nice stuff. We get to this London Open, and we're just doing this. So we were talking about start time for the live streams. Maybe I'll move it to 8:30. So I'm on the charts. The news move comes in. I'm not about to trade the news move or get right into anything while that's happening. So starting at 8:30 when the news is coming out, and then 20, 30, 40 minutes after that, the analysis is done, and I can look for the trades safely past the news. So that might be the plan. I don't know what my sleep schedule is going to be. Yeah, then there's that whole, I don't even get into all that stuff. Oh, and regulation news coming out in a few weeks won't be good for crypto. Yeah, I know that they're trying to regulate it, and I saw a clip of Ted Cruz, which is, he had a very good point. He said, oh, sorry, Coco. Too late. He had a very good point, which he goes, okay, you want to start, he says to his fellow lawmakers, you want to start regulating crypto? He goes, I bet there's 5 people in this whole room, right, out of whatever, 100 of them, 5 people in this room that can actually explain to me what a crypto is. 90% of you can't even explain to me what a cryptocurrency is. And we're going to regulate it. So back off, slow down, educate yourself on what you're doing, what this is, right? And then we'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll take our time on any sort of regulation. So, there's that too. It comes down to who controls, things at the moment, I guess. You have those that like to regulate and those that don't. So then you get into elections affecting this stuff. That's annoying. I just end up ignoring it all. If I see anything, it's not going to change my approach. I just go off the charts. That's fine. Especially, I always did that. But then when you talk about cryptos, now I've seen it. You've seen it. What about halving? What was something supposed to happen with the halving? Right. I think a tweet by the right person has more effect on the crypto market than the halving did. That was supposed to cause some. I don't pay attention. But so-and-so tweets and things might happen. It's weird. Forget it. Ignore the whole thing. Guess what? Price goes up and down, both directions. Up and down, down and up. So it's really fine in the end. Buy low, sell high. And that is the conclusion. But charts don't lie, right? News lies. People lie. Charts don't lie. Hey, a pound, come on down. That's good. You might as well do it. So a very slow start to the session. That's the conclusion. We were ready. We had the sleeves rolled up, ready to go. Extra strong coffee. And then our nice trendy charts have just gone sideways. Very, very small range for the session so far. It's Monday. Whatever. Like I said, I'm just getting back into it. Welcome. If you're attending for the first time, smash that like button. Come on, guys. We got to get 1,000 likes on this video, and then I'll give away everybody a Kindle Fire or something. And no, I'm not doing that. So, but again, seriously, the point of this is, again, just to do the live analysis, to give you some sort of grounding, someone who's looked at charts for many, many years. You want my take on it, give you some reference. You should, of course, be making your own decisions, which people do, which is good. I think the old days of like begging for signals, signal hunting, are those days over, or people still do that? But I don't really see that anymore. And so help you make your own decision. Right? I think the one thing we said was high probability today. Right? Was that. Which happened. But that's it. Nothing else really happened. What are you going to do? You know, take what it gives. Gave you that. Spotted it at the time. But again, on this situation, you have weakness coming in. It's the mighty pound. Yeah, it was a nice idea, but I don't believe that anymore. We'll see. If we can get to this high and not have this issue with high volume and get through it on regular volume, yeah, I might buy another dip depending on what's going on to the left and what things look like. Thanks, Pete. Great breakdown as usual. Are you a fan of the whole hodling method? It depends how extreme you're talking about. Like, you know, there's different levels. But no, my swing trading is more active than that. I think what you're talking about is just the people who buy in the low prices, and they're holding till whatever, till they need to pay for their kids' college or so. You know, the 10 years till they're retired or something. That extreme hodling, no, I don't do that. So I've talked about it though on especially my recent videos. Sometimes I day trade it, but I'm always swing trading it. But at the end of the month, 9 times out of 10, I'm withdrawing. I'm in profit. Sometimes, you know, multiple times a month, taking profit out. So it's not just and selling some off and taking profit out on an up move, right? And then buying some of the down move and repeat. So, but I am pulling out of my swing account some of the profits and you know, still buying low, selling high. So I'm not just sitting there waiting for things to take off one day. Oh, pound, you stop it. Mighty pound? Put on some music roll, do we? So yeah, I think that's the move. Starting my sleep, I don't know. Maybe I'll sleep like a normal person. Starting at 8:30 New York time. Because that's when the charts have been good after the New York news, right? And you get your trendy move. Also, I can look to actively trade stocks Which I don't really day trade. But that's a lot of buying and holding longer term. Tesla's doing the best from what I have. My Tesla position is up. What percent? 21%. My Tesla position is up 21%. That I'm hodling. That is a hold. What's it called? Starlink? Uh-huh. That's kind of an obvious one, right? Buy Tesla and hold it for 20 years and get 800% return. But yeah, that might be the move. Trading the New York session. So these videos will be helpful real time. And then also I will leave them on my YouTube channel. Permanently. Semi-permanently. I'll leave them there. And that'll be good material to go back and learn. Every day has something a little different. The pound was fun. It's still going, isn't it? Oh, gosh. This situation, where you, as bearish as it looks, right? I'm doing nothing here. Need to move up, find sellers. We need to do something. But yeah, let's go to the 1 hour chart real quick and look at that post-US news activity. That was Friday. See, there it is. There's your London Open. And then again here, it's a small day, but the move that it did do out of its range. What time did that go on? 8:30, 9, right? There it is. That's just where it is right now, the activity. I'm sure you could go back and you'll see the volume spikes earlier in the day. And then a bit of news spike and that's it. But that's really not there. That earlier in the day, the activity is lopsided to later in the day. There's 7, 8, 9, 10. So that looks good. That's really what I need to be doing. Look at that. 8:30 is here. So I may be starting at 8:30. That's really what I need to do, isn't it? 8:30 New York time. Oh, it's going to be rough. I keep changing my sleep schedule. I like the late night thing, I'm also a musician. Musicians like the nighttime. So peaceful. I'm not even home. I'm in my recording studio, which is in a building that I get special treatment. There's like nobody else in the building except like the building manager, that guy that's here at night, a couple other people. It's dead quiet. I'm going to miss that if I have to sleep during the night. Well, there's not much to talk about with the real lack of activity. I could come back if I'm going to be trading New York session today. Could always come back. continue the stream. That is the deal lately. That is the phase, the mood of the market. Those New York moves starting off slow at London. Yeah, this is probably coming down. After seeing this candle here, probably going right for support. See the euro pound. Is that bearish? Yeah, the euro might be doing that now, isn't it? In the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, dropping. Again, it's a counter background sort of situation, but that is something that might bring it down to here for that long. Could be a short. If you trust that the market wants to move. It seems to be making lower lows and lower highs there slightly. A better trending environment would be better for that trade, but yeah, a good chance that's coming down to the low. It's a very small pip count, but like I say, handle these things like I was talking about with the pound. It's a possibility. Possible. Again, really the reasoning is when you have these clean tests, right? 1, 2, 3, fourth time now in this area. The moving averages tell you about the selling activity. You have basically a lower low, lower high structure. Our projection is to test this area. Just backing up, why this is likely to move down. Doesn't mean it has to go all the way here. Really, the likely move is this, like we were saying with the pound. The very high probability, pretty high probability move now is here. Also, the push-up, sort of the longer candles, the small activity, and then the reaction. Sometimes this is one candle in here, or sometimes you get a couple of small ones, whatever. This strong reaction, and then this candle closing at the low, saying there's really no buy pressure up here. Right, and so it's very likely to be very exact about it here. That, which is really the pin zone, as I used to call it. I guess I'm still calling it. It's a good name. So just marking the pin. And that's where you'll tend to hit some activity or maybe not make it completely to the low when you hit this area. So, that becomes this high probability move. Again, in this case, it's okay. If we had a spike of weakness here, that might improve it. A fake break pattern off of weakness and then that reaction. But again, also once you move above the moving averages and back below, above and then back below, you'll tend to go for the support and go for that leg down. If we even want to trend here, it's kind of so many of them. Let's see the EJ. So sideways. Early Monday. Euro versus the pound. That looked maybe like it was going to do that. But not ideal conditions. What's the percentage? If I had to kind of, based on all that, probably a 65% chance, right? Maybe 70 that it's going to go to this area before it goes to a higher area. I don't know. Just saying. It could be better. Could also be worse. There's no huge spikes in volume off the low showing demand. There's some increase, nothing crazy. If there was, then it would be less likely to come down, but nothing crazy stands out there. If you like oscillating things, I don't know. I put these things on and then I ignore them. I like colors. Yeah, it's a tough, choppy start because the pound was looking like maybe it wanted to be strong, and then we hit that weakness. I did not want to hold on to that long with any risk anymore, especially after weakness. But even by then, I was already getting rid of risk. And again, it started off nice, and then it hit that. So now what? Is it going to come down because of the weakness, or is this going to test this area, maybe not see sellers again? This time didn't see much. And continue. It's not the greatest. Is this going to come down? It's not even going to do that. We'll see. But for example, what would help the situation is if we actually come down and really make some new low ground, right? Not like the last low where we just kind of popped below and came down. We didn't really make another leg down. It's more of a fake break, fail, right? With some volume. But if we can actually like get below this level with no issue and really see some candles below and really see, right? Then, and again, not seeing any large strength, really the lower the better on the volume, then taking the next one, right? So it would be obviously around there, give or take. And that way you have your trend structure a little better. And really these entries are for trending environments. So a fake break and then maybe getting stuck doesn't really count as much. If we do get stuck here instead of move, it's kind of getting worse. You know, this is an hour now, right? Since here. So for the past hour, this was moving nice. We thought, okay, maybe we're catching an up move today. Now we have a full hour of this sideways chop with weakness, which doesn't help the bullish environment stay bullish. So is what it is. Again, it looks like the New York session might be the time to do it. Like I said, I'm just getting back into day trading again after taking a break for the summer. I went to Disney World. It was brutal. Highs and lows. It was fun. The food. That was my favorite part. Pigged out. So good. I was surprised. Amazing. Wherever I went. So we got a couple of people in here that I'm just looking at the chat that think regulation news is coming and it's going to mess up cryptos. Okay. Is it going to be enough to really bring down the real world demand that might be going on? Is there real world demand? Not traders, but companies buying up, converting to Bitcoin because they need it to in their business for whatever reason, like they're using it. But I guess if they over-regulate, then they might change their mind on that. Just leave it. No one's asking for this. We need crypto regulation now. Who? They're supposed to represent the people. I don't know anybody that wants that. You know, the average person who doesn't know anything about cryptos has heard things. Oh, it's for criminals. Oh, when people say that to me, you know what I say, right? So criminals don't use cash? So you're okay with cash, dirty old cash in a paper bag. That's okay. But doing something online, which is pretty much in the end traceable. Come on, let's be real. You're not okay with that for illegal activity. That's more traceable than the paper bag. Come on. There's my rant. Ooh, it's like dark web, right? Problem is with cash in a bag, a briefcase, right? Can't regulate that. This you can, so they're gonna do it. You guys brought me down now. I'm selling. I'm dumping it all. Kidding, I'm kidding. All right. So at this point, I'll hang out a bit because things may make some sort of move soon, and we'll be back in business. But again, otherwise, I really got to start planning for a U.S. session. Try to catch the activity when it's happening now. But for now, I'm here, hanging out. I'll give my voice a break for a minute. Good to be back. The warm-up session. Back into it. It's probably coming down. Hey, but I'm not calling trades, so I explain the situation. That's all I got to do. All right. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Just hanging out at this point. I already got some good educational material in here for people that watch the video in the future. Can't pull something out of nothing if the market's going to be quiet, so just kind of hang out and see how things develop.
Hey man, you got your eyes open wide, your head held high. I know you feel it all inside now. Hey man, you got your heart on your sleeve. There's so much underneath. I know you hear the beat now. Hey man, have you listened to the trees? The whisper in the leaves, the wisdom that they speak. It goes like I know you hear the song. It goes like now. Don't let go now. These are your words. This is your song. This is your plea to save the world.
All right. Again, just to repeat, I'm just hanging out at this point. There is good educational material, our initial analysis and everything, and some stuff going on there. If you're watching this, if you're watching the live stream, you could go back. But at this point, I've given my voice a rest. See how things develop. Euro's going to go, isn't it? What else was I going to say? I forgot. Here's the Discord link again. It should be in the description also. This one doesn't expire. So I'll be checking in there here and there when I'm obviously not streaming. What is this? Did I just do something? What is this? Stop it. I clicked on something. Hopefully it's all still good. There's a Discord link. I'll be in there. You can always ask questions. And I will see them eventually and answer, things like that. But again, if you're just joining us, I'm looking to do this more regularly. It's live analysis, education, hangout. And I'm going on the spree September, October, November. I'll be around. Help you make decisions, help you maybe clarify what's going on in the charts just because I've been looking at them so long. What is it, like 17 years? Help you make better decisions. All right. Where's that doobie?
The great abyss. Wonder if they have learned to live. Do they sustain? Do they persist and thrive despite the chaos crashing in? Where is a better world?
looking at the settings for the live stream. You should be able to rewind it, but I'm looking at the stream on my phone, and I'm not able to go back. It's just staying live. So that might be a setting. Trying to get everything together here. Set it and forget it. All right. So, Mr. Euro Dollar. As I said, this was the very high probability move. Or in this case, decent probability. As I explained, could be better. And now it's reached that point. So, it's important to note that difference between this pin area and support itself. Notice the rejection right off of it, right? Let's go to the 1 minute chart. My sound is good, right? Okay. Just to note, once you do these boxes, you never go back. Okay, it didn't quite hit it. So we could even see in real time here maybe right now, if we can get there. But they move here. As predicted. So this is very similar to the pound in reverse that we did, right? That was this up move. So again, we're in an environment where the normal day trade, so to speak, rather than these scalps, we're just not in the right price area, right condition yet for me to do that. Right. Again, we're kind of stuck and rangy and barely doing anything. Pound moved, but that didn't have a good background. These guys are all trending down, but nothing happened after that. We got stuck. If move up, we have, weakness on fib retracements, 1 hour fibs and all that. So just to say, but at least in this environment, sometimes these things show up that are obviously tradable. Maybe I put a position on, maybe I didn't. I don't have to say, do I? Right? Good. Not why we're here. All right, good. I remind myself that nobody asked for trade calls. But that's the high probability move again, is to here. And sometimes that's, 9 pips and you had a 7 or 10 pip stop and you just close it because it was a fairly big position. And it got to at least, or you close 3/4 of it and maybe stop to break even or whatever you do, or half. So just to point that out, some of you actually have my scalping course and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about there. That's what's, I don't want to say guaranteed because it's certainly not. That's the 85% whatever move. See, there's that pop. And again, that just came through observation in this situation that we're very likely to get there. If you have a decent sized move, again, in a trending environment, it's better because you get bigger moves. Something with a decent spread, you can catch those over and over again. And then again, from there, it's a matter of managing, right? If it bounces off of this, it came within a pip. I mean, broker, spread, whatever. You can't be mad at it if it bounces off that. That was the high probability move. But obviously, especially when you're going, with a trend and you get a good entry like that, there's plenty of times you'll catch another leg down or whatever happens. And maybe that's half your position or whatever for the rest. So as I say, a lot of you already know this, I pretty much have two, when it comes to the Forex, two approaches. It's these scalps, which sometimes could be bigger trades, right, as I just explained, but you want the little move, bang something. And then you have the more traditional day trades where, for example, looking for an up move and weakness here, right? If it starts to move up, I'll draw my stuff. I don't feel like drawing it until it's time. Draw a fib on this move, see what our levels are back there, and get weakness. It could be something as close as the 14 EMA, though, right? Which is, again, look yesterday twice, Friday, and it tends to bounce off the 14 EMA, and along with other factors to tell you to get in there. So again, that's more of the traditional bigger targets and stops stuff. But it makes sense, right? That you're looking for these things, and in the meantime, you pinch off a little bit. That doesn't sound right. Pinch off some. You skim. We're skimming. We skim some. I don't know. So meanwhile, you can sometimes just catch these small moves when you're kind of in no man's land, and there's nothing great as far as the bigger picture setups, and you catch the scalps. But it's also good for environments where, for today, for example, let's say we don't get the up move, right? So the end pairs just keep going down, 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 right? Then we can get our way in with this sort of entry because even the strongest downtrend is very likely to bounce off the 14 EMA. So if it just wants to go and go and go, we'll still likely get some sort of opportunity to get in. Even if it's, again, a scalp or we ride out some of that move, whatever, right? So that kind of summarizes how I do the Forex. You got the Wyckoff phases and things, that'll always work as far as understanding the background and where you are for the day trade type of trades. A little bit of Wyckoff, a little bit of VSA, simple technical analysis, and really understanding supply demand. That's it. I oversimplified it, but yeah. Watch my videos. You'll learn more. I think it's mostly the old crew here, though, today. So, but if I start streaming regularly, we'll pick up some new people. All right, so getting out of that pound was good. Okay, good. See, I'm glad it went down just for that reason alone. Because I was long and this hit my break even. So now I'd be in drawdown, right? On a scalp that, I don't know, showed weakness now. Nah. But, you know, looking at it now, okay, so do I look for this now, right? I don't like the weakness. I don't like the double top failure. So it's not a plus trade, first of all, because of that. Also, are we trending? I guess so. Yeah. Your higher high, higher low structure. Yeah. The background is total garbage. There's no... Actually, it was leaning bullish. We went and looked. It's rangy, but yesterday's action, Friday, it was definitely leaning bullish. And holding on long positions. What would actually confirm, of course, is we want to cross the 14 EMA. But trading into a double top pattern, fake break with high volume weakness, is not giving you, again, the highest of quality here. But just to understand it, it's good to see this stuff. Tradable, not tradable, why? If this was a clean top, it would be, again, better off to be one top and the lower the better on volume. So that's why it's so really the opposite of what we want. Really any lack of anything going on. Nothing exciting. One top, no high volume, right? Comes down. And then also a spike in activity here. Not totally necessary for a good trade, but it helps to get a volume spike and rejection. And again, like that 3 candle pattern stuff is not really there either, right? A quick turnaround. The long candle, the small 1 or 2, and then the pulling away pattern. It kind of hung out there. Candles closing out there low, not showing much buying. It feels like there's always a probability that, you know, leaning to the upside in this situation, but it's just a question of how good is it. This one, especially because of that high volume here. I don't trust it. Not quite good enough. We're really kind of barely trending up. If you look at the day, we haven't really done anything. Moved down and right back to the middle of that range. Got stuck for a while. So I'm like talking myself out of it. I'm just saying why I'm not taking it. Again, in a situation like this, it could do the move, do it without me, that's fine, and then top off better and give me the next one, you know. All right, I was supposed to be resting my voice and chilling. What song is on here? All right. All right, I'm here hanging out still for a bit. Smash that like button.
arrest the devil of shame living in my mind. Only you have the flare of service, your soul divine. Still embracing the memory of the woman you'll always be. Please forgive me when sorrow calls you love me. I left you and lost it all. My heart's still yearning.
Okay, Euro. Okay. Something that is good. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks, Euro. That is good.
Can you pardon me for I sin? I remain this way till the end. Please forgive me when sorrow calls you love me. I left you and lost it all. My heart's still yearning and broke by the fall. Can you hear me when sorrow calls? Oh, please forgive me when sorrow calls you love me. I left you and lost it all. My heart's still yearning and broke by the Can you hear me when sorrow
That is good. One were to have gone short on the euro dollar, then one would be happy. One would also be seeing buyers, so one would be smart if one were to cover some of that, take some of that profit. Some of it, all of it, stop at break even. Don't let a scalp turn into something else. I'm just messing around. That's the game I play with myself. I used to charge money for this stuff, and have a pressure back in the day, a pressure to call trades. But now I have a thing I don't want to do that. But anyway, yeah, we talked about it. It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was pretty good. What was good? What was not good? At this point, since we're doing live chart analysis, and that's the point, we got something to talk about. We are seeing increase in volume and a rejection and a fake break potentially, but the new low ground tells you about buyers, right? And that's what the reaction was. Let's see the 1 minute chart down there. Yep. So that's highest volume, in a long time. So, and that's the reaction. Now that could just be an initial reaction. It doesn't mean it's going to fly up now or anything, but the first fact is that the increase in activity occurred here. Now, if that was an increase in selling for the most part, right, then the candle would close down, right? It lost half of what it gained, and the activity was high. So there has to be some buying in there. So that's just the initial. It could be people like me looking for this move, right? And taking some profit, whatever. It could be accumulation slowly into new low ground that's going on down to the fib, whatever. But looking at the reaction and where this candle closes, which goes really back to the simplified version of VSA that I'm doing, to confirm that this is strength was an upward reaction. So you have that activity, effort, result, right? Whatever you want to call it. If this closed down, especially on decreased volume, then we'd say, well, maybe these buyers, this activity came and went, and the activity's gone. Okay, then we're likely continuing. But if we really bounce as a result, or if we continue to see high volume rejections here, then we might be moving up. We have demand showing up, right? Okay. But again, you see how buyers are pretty dependably in this area. You see kind of the pin covers it. And that's, again, what helps this move be so dependable and likely to happen at this point, because the buyers are really in this area. It's going to be, so it could just kind of float on low volume. It's not like some ton of selling comes in. It's just, everyone looking to buy at this point is really starting from here. So that just helps it kind of fall and get there. Now, if we did not have a volume increase here, then it would be very likely to just float on through, right? But we'll see the reaction to this, which again helps define really back to basic VSA. But some of the stuff as far as VSA, as a disclaimer, I do not do. I would not consider a no supply in this area. It hurts my brain to even think about that. It doesn't tell you about supply. This is telling you about demand in an area like this, as far as high or low volume. This was supply, which was low, but more selling than buying because they're down here. So looking at that reaction is going to help determine if the strength is likely to play out or not, right? But the scalp pattern played out. Let's see what it says next. This, right, as I said, not good enough to take based on what was happening here, based on this weakness, right? Not a long scalp that I was looking to take. Plus, it never closed on the other side anyway to confirm an entry there of the 14 EMA. So there was no actual entry according to my rules. The euro, right, that closed here when it did clear the 14, and that's actually when I said it at the time. So it's recorded. That's when it happened. What else is maybe developing here? So this is still an option, obviously, for later today. We'll look to shorten the trend on a retracement. But in the meantime, if we're not moving up, selling into the support, at this point, obviously, chasing in, selling into support would be silly. So it's a matter of really seeing what goes on here. There could be so much demand that I actually go long. There could be such a lack of demand through here that I'm looking to short scalp it, right? Break test continuation, 14 EMA, stuff that can happen if there's real lack of demand here. And we're just going with the trend. So up or down could be opportunity. Here I'd look for weakness into the fib areas and all that stuff back there. Nothing overly crazy complicated, right? I think today is a good summary explanation of what we're doing. Makes sense. So this technically confirms strength with a close up. It's not like the strongest close up. This guy's moving up. But it did stop the progress. It did confirm it. So at this point, it's kind of a little more likely to bounce. So we got our information here. Again, if you're in a short scalp, it might be time to just get out, or at least close most of it if you haven't already. You had nice lower prices there for a minute that you could have even gotten initially, because we know that's our target zone. But like if you're in a situation here, seeing something like this, even if you're up, 6 pips or something, if you're seeing something like that, double bottom, fake break, strength confirming, right? I'm not leaving on risk. Stop at break even. Did about 2.5 hours. Wow. See, that's so much better than if I was trading by myself. Goes by faster, not getting bored. Focused. So it looks like that weakness is playing out there after the mighty pound beginning of the session. Said, nope, weakness. This was a bad long entry, as I said, especially because of that. Double top fake break. Bad reaction here. Not so convincing. Never confirmed anyway. And so for this to go lower is not surprising now, right? But what, as far as trading this situation here so far today, it's gone bad. Looks gone bad. Yeah, this. It's not a trend. It's not even a clear range. Just some buyers and then some sellers. Yeah, now we're kind of back to where we started. Whatever. But if the U.S. session, kicks things up like it tends to be doing now, and the U.S. dollar gets some direction, this will go wherever that's going to push it. Probably start really correlating with the euro dollar. So there's some strength confirmed. Again, it could go either way at this point. If you were short, you want to be mindful of that. If it runs up, can't be surprised. But now we'll kind of follow whatever's interesting at the moment, which is the pound turning to shit. But it was interesting to see how that happened. And predictable that it was going to go up, and then that was weakness. So maybe there's going to turn to shit. And then now we'll follow this story of strength here. What's going on? If it moves down and these buyers don't show up again, as in the volume is going to be low, then we may just continue on our way. We could try to go lower and get rejected on high volume again. Then we'd say, okay, this demand accumulation going on. We'll follow the story. All right, just checking in. We're seeing that strength, not surprisingly, create a bounce here. And in this case, I would be not looking for the scalp here. Not looking for that off of such a bottom like that. It's not extremely high volume. It's not terrible, but really we were slow. It's actually like double the previous vol of the candle. The close off the low and the reaction here. It says there's a bit too much demand here to risk selling into that if this were to create another top here. That I would not take. Sometimes these things can clear up. For example, if we come down off the 14 EMA and we don't see any activity here like that, then going forward, we're back on track to short it. But shorting into high volume demand, it could show up again. Obviously, off something like this, it could actually bounce back to, first of all, instead of making lower lows, lower highs, go back to that high. That's more likely to happen than anything else right now. Not a trade I'm taking, but just understand that strength playing out. Unless a ton of sellers show up right now in here. A little fib area, moving averages. If we don't see weakness here, we're just going right there off of that strength. And kind of going nowhere. But we're trending up, upward structure, the bigger picture on the euro dollar. And then if you notice today, these two bottoms do have that that increase in activity, then the rejection pretty strong. So we're in an uptrend, and today so far, if anything, is showing demand here. It could very well just continue. I'd rather be buying lower though, as far as buying here, because in this pattern. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. But we could be headed here, or at least close to it, and then get a read on things. But judging by the bearish environment today so far, I wouldn't be just looking to start buying. Again, also it's a little high up. I would like to be buying lower. So it's not going to convince me to buy, or that this down move today so far is over, but it does make it not as safe to sell for now, right? At least that's the understanding. Okay. Do what you want with that information. John is asking, maybe I answered the question there. I don't know. I think euro will go down to 1.75, so down to the fib. 75? Okay. Oh, you're up here. You're saying it's going to go down a bit further, you think? But again, with all this demand showing up, in the short term, kind of 50-50. Not something I would have a position on. Again, if maybe, possibly, I took that short. I talked about it. It's got to be managed. The chart has spoken, right? So now it's kind of 50-50. Could move up off of strength, could continue down, because that's what we're doing, and it was just a temporary blip in demand, and sellers are going to do another one of these things. 50-50, right? So no position. Yeah, pound is just we understand what happened here and why it's not good to get into a trade right now, right? Okay. Again, this is just a tight range. It's not doing anything significant. Such a small range like this, I don't trade. These guys are really stuck. And that's it for the moment. Well, you have to say why, John. Just because you want it to. I say demand is here. Not me, the chart. And it's probably, especially during this kind of low volatility, chill out time right now, seems to be, says the market. It's easier to go up than it is to get here. That's going to take activity, strong selling. And then the buy orders that are sitting around here have to be eaten up and pushed through. So there would have to be a real run of selling to get it here. That would kind of come out of nowhere. Again, I still feel like it's 50-50, but maybe slightly more likely to move up. But yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. I don't know. That's just the facts of what would have to happen, right? Unless these buyers just really disappear that second time around and it floats on through. That's possible. But yeah, knowing that they're there is what it is now. In my opinion. Possibly. But yeah, that's definitely a situation right now that's developed where we were talking about shorting that I would not want to be in anything at the moment here. Dry out there now. A desert. Gotta get that New York post 8:30 activity and good.
Something very strange makes a girl this way. Something in the blood. Science can't explain how a girl in so much pain can do the things she does. Turning clockwise, counterclockwise, turning inside, turning upside out. She's not an ordinary girl. Any ordinary girl would break under this weight. She's not an ordinary girl. Any ordinary girl would break, but she bears the weight of the world.
Well, that helps you a little bit there, John. That's technically, again, I thoroughly explained why I wouldn't go short right now. But the test of the 14 and that clear rejection of it here, closing below it after the test, does give a little better probability of trying to do this. That. Got to deal with all that down there. That's twice not looked too friendly there with the sellers. It's all crap to get into a trade, in my opinion, right now. But still doing the analysis, I guess, is worth something. Why is it crap, right? So we basically have a really bad short signal. Terrible. Because you'd be selling right into demand, right into rejection areas. And these guys may be, it's not huge, but they're there, and they may be positioning, for an up move that could be coming. We do have an uptrend to the left. So we understand why it's crap. And everything else, we already went through it. All right. Maybe I will end the stream. This is really getting into the weeds here, as we kind of exactly thought. It's in the weeds now. All slight increases in activity. I wouldn't label this all buying just because it's green. Test for selling here. Kind of active. Buying, we know, is active here. It's kind of in the weeds, and we know the whole situation. Pound, we lived through that today. Started off almighty. Sellers smack it down. Don't take that long entry, and here we are in the weeds. Gone nowhere. Stuck. Stuck. Bearish, but stuck. EJ broke out. Surprised this didn't come down too. Very particular breakout for EJ. Kind of weird. But that's a situation where scalps could be looked for now. If we're really breaking out, right? We're not just going to pop right back up, which we're getting there. Before I go. If we're really going to hang out below here and really say it's a real breakout, not pop right back up, then going forward, we're good. We're not seeing a lot of demand by any means. Strong trend. And again, the 14 EMA rejections and a nice clean, right, zigzag would be the only thing I would look for at this point. Again, we already talked about larger time frame day trade kind of trades, right? This thing is, these are regular retracement tests of the 14 at least. A little fib, something going on there, up moving weakness to get in as a more traditional day trade besides the scalp entry. So if it moves up instead of down here, then there's also that, right? Potential opportunity. And so that applies to the yen pairs. Moves down without buyers, you can look for those entries. Moves up, you get weakness, right? You're looking for the retracement entry short, day trade style, which is a different type of entry that I didn't talk about today. But it's on my other videos and in my course. Here's my website, by the way. If you want a discount on the courses, I'll give you a big fat discount. Just let me know. I should just lower the prices. But also, of course, we're going to keep doing this, and that's free. So hopefully you'll keep attending, and we'll get more people. Tell your friends. Smash that like. Yeah, let's do it. I'll be here tomorrow. Again, the only question is, am I starting 8:30 a.m. New York and catching that good stuff that's been happening after that later in the day, or what's going on? I should really be doing that. So, but if you go to the website and put your email in the little box, subscribe, then I'll email everybody and let them know as I figure out the schedule. We did what we could with what we got. It'll be good later. If I'm around, I'll pop in the Discord. I guess got to figure out my schedule. Thanks for attending. We'll do it all tomorrow again. Try to keep you updated on the start times. All right, guys. See you around. See you tomorrow or in the Discord.